Welcome to this week's Foundation Friday. I am joined today by Nancy Robles, President of Eastern Funding, to discuss Laundry Cares. Thanks for joining me, Nancy.
Hi, Jesse. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here to talk about Laundry Cares, which is one of Eastern Funding's, charities that we have focused on for a really, really long time, and we're very dedicated to this cause. So thank you. I really appreciate the platform.
No, I appreciate you joining me on here again. I think last time we spoke, it was about the Berkeley College Foundation. And at that time you were COO. So another congratulations to you with your promotion.
Thank you.
So it's exciting. So Laundry Cares, what is Laundry Cares and how did you and Eastern get involved?
Well, Laundry Cares is actually a foundation that focuses on early childhood literacy in the laundry space, the coin laundry space. Now, Eastern Funding, one of our core industries that we service is coin laundry, and it's really our core business. It's what where we started. And the reason why we're so involved is because one of the co-founders, Brian Grell, is very involved in Laundry Cares. He has been from the inception of the organization, and he's a big believer in it. And of course, we at Eastern Funding, we're fully are involved with him. We're actually one of the biggest sponsors the Laundry Cares has. And it's such an incredible foundation. And the communities that it serves is the same communities that we focus on in terms of coin laundries.
So, basically, what does the foundation do to help with early children literacy, Nancy?
Okay, so let me give you a little bit of information about that. So, studies show that in middle class homes, children have about 13 books per child, right? Age appropriate books. But in low income communities, there's one book per 300 children. I can personally say that that's true because I grew up in Patterson in a low income household, and we never had age appropriate books, unlike my children who have libraries. So it is a fact, when you're living paycheck to not just living paycheck to paycheck, but barely making ends meet, buying a book is just not a priority, right? When you're trying to buy school supplies, food, and so on and so forth. So it's just what happens in these communities. It is also, studies also show that 88% of children that are not reading ready by first grade will never catch up. Yes.
Okay.
And 83% of dropouts don't know how to read at reading level.
Wow.
And even more concerning is that 70% of inmates do not read above fourth grade level. So
that's interesting.
Yes, there's a very direct correlation between not learning how to read early in life and not being able to have a life that's
not a good quality of life, that's for sure.
Exactly. Yes, for sure. And it's a very direct pipeline, and it really affects people in a number of ways. And those are, there's obviously unemployment is directly tied into that, continued low income. So it's very detrimental. 90% of the brain is formed by the age of 5. So those are, critical years for children to learn how to read.
Okay. Absolutely. And regarding like not being able to afford books, I'm sure your kids, when you go to school, they drag you into one of those book things and you come out and it's like, what did I just spend $100 on? There's like 4 books.
Exactly. Yes. 100%. Right.
What did I just buy?
Absolutely. Yes. And so to do the book fair. Yes. No, it's so true. And but when kids are live in urban communities where there's scarcity, then there really is a need for these opportunities. And so, but what Laundry Cares does is that not only is it focused on providing books, but it's providing the opportunity in the space. So what Laundry Cares does is that they've developed this toolkit, and they actually work with the Clinton Foundation that has a Too Small to Fail initiative, which is about early reading. And they've created this toolkit where Coin Laundry owners will create a space, and they'll have, and it's a rug like with the alphabet, books, a bookshelf, a seating area like a couch, and then Laundry Cares work with the foundation to identify the exact objects, right? The you know that will make the space friendly for children. You know, it comes with a few puppets, and so they create a space that it's open to a child, that it's interesting for a child, that it's playful, but then it creates this opportunity for parents to connect with their children. And if you go into a Coin Laundry, very often you see parents are on their electronics, kids are on their electronics, and there's not a lot of interaction happening, unfortunately. And also, you know, there's not necessarily any of this, you know, reading going on, or so it creates an opportunity for parents to connect with their children. So there's all kinds of emotional, psychological benefits, but then there is the most important component, which is to give children access to books and ideally an opportunity for parents to read with them.
Excellent, excellent. So
Mhm.
when the people watching this, you know, want to make a donation, like where do donated dollars go?
Well, what they also do is they have free laundry days,
Okay.
and Eastern Funding has we have volunteered. We often, our employees volunteer for these, but as well as, you know, there's the cost of the laundry, the actual laundry detergent, softener,
Yeah.
and what
Yep.
people do, and I actually volunteered a few times, and people come in their communities, so they can bring as much laundry as they want, and we will take it from them at the curb, take it in, wash it for them, and return the clean laundry. In that opportunity, you know, when that event happens, we take the opportunity to talk about, you know, the literacy program. And so you get that immediate community in, and you get an opportunity to have an audience to talk about the importance of literacy and, you know, create these spaces. So a lot of times, the laundromat owners, you know, they create the space, which, you know, for them it's an investment because that space would normally be utilized for more equipment, but instead they create a space where this kit will go in. You know, a lot of times they'll pay for it, but you know, Laundry Cares donations help subsidize some of that, and they also help subsidize the free laundry days. We just did 3 in the New York area, but we've done them nationally, and I'll tell you, it is the most amazing experience to have someone come in and say that, you know, this will help them. You know, a lot, I remember one of the ones I did was close to back to school, and the parents said that saving the money that week from the laundry would give them the money that they needed to buy their kids supplies for school. So it makes an incredible difference for people who are, you know, who live in these communities that are really living in poverty and are struggling just to meet the basic needs of their families. And so that, you know, it's a combination of all that. And then there's a lot of education that goes around it. You know, in some of these events, they have people to come in and actually do an interactive, you know, they spend a few hours working with the kids, teaching the parents how to have these interactions with their kids, and the importance of what, you know, age appropriate books look like, and so on and so forth. So it's about education, it's about the communities, and it's really critical. I mean, when you think about these numbers, and you know, so many of us take it for granted, but it really can change someone's life to have this basic need met of learning how to read.
Oh, that's amazing, and I can imagine, that's a little bit of a difficult conversation to have with somebody, right? Because, you know, it's people don't want to admit that, they don't want to admit that maybe they don't read at a certain grade level, right? I mean, it's a tough
Absolutely.
conversation to have. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is that once a kid falls behind, it's almost impossible to get caught up. And reading is
No,
basic. I mean, it affects every subject, every learning interaction. It affects our ability even later, to have other cognitive development, in terms of communication, relationships, interactions with the world. And even, people think of jobs, service jobs where people are not necessarily reading it as part of their job, but it's a basic, I mean, for any basic instruction or learning opportunity of any type of service, you need to know how to read. So yeah, it is critical, to, the livelihood of people and the economy, and it just affects us
sure.
in many different ways.
Absolutely. So when people are watching this, what can they do to, give back or to potentially help Laundry Cares, Nancy?
Well, there Laundry Cares, if you go to laundrycares.com, there's the opportunities to volunteer for these free laundry days. There's opportunities to donate,
Okay.
donate books. I know that EFC donated boxes of books that were handed out during one of the Laundry Cares events. And so not only children got to take home books, and for, if you think about one book per 300 kids, could you imagine what it's like for one
No,
of those children?
no, no, I can't. That stat, I was like, that can't be correct. And then I'm like,
Mhm.
"Ee,
Yeah, no, and
no,
and 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 the fact that, that's what we paired up with the Clinton Foundation, because they have also donated a lot, and they've been very, very involved with the initiative, because studies have been done. Actually, New York City, there was a study done, and by NYU, on this specifically literacy in the laundromat, because of the space, because families usually go together, and because the time and opportunity spent there.
mm,
And they found that it was, it really was significantly impactful. And so yeah, so if people can go to the website and donate time, money, and those will all go to good use, all of it.
well, excellent. Well, I mean, I see Brian's passion for it on LinkedIn all the time when he's posting. So, um,
Yes.
yeah,
He's really, really, he has been one of the pioneers in terms of getting the organization off the ground, really getting the word out, making sure that, Eastern Funding has remained involved in every aspect. And of course, Michael Fanger and all of us are
sure.
incredibly supportive, but he has by far been, the voice, in terms of equipment finance for us in this space, that has really been very loud about the importance of giving back and making a difference early in the kid's life in
Yeah.
this way, right? These are the communities, um, these are the communities that usually corn laundries are in. And so for us, it's critical that, um, not just because of the economy, but because we want to make a difference. We want to help the communities that help us, and we find that, this is a great opportunity to go to the core.
Nope. Absolutely, Nancy. Well, thank you very much for sharing. And, I
Of
appreciate
course.
your time today. For those watching this, go to, was it laundrycares.com you mentioned?
Hmm. Yeah,
Go check it out and see how you can make a difference. Thank you, Nancy.
absolutely. You're welcome.